Maybe I want to do a little shit.
Don't do any.
We'll see.
I'm going live. I just pushed the button. I think it's all good. Hey, I think you should be able to hear me now. If you can't, I guess you'll tell me. And today, as you can tell from the thumbnail and title, we're going to be looking at... sorry, the screen just went black. I think we're all good. We're going to be looking at my diary from 2020 and the drawings I did in it. Just because I didn't make a video this week, and I'm about to throw this away, basically, and I thought I'd show you what I drew in it, and kind of talk a little bit about drawing, I guess. Now I've gone blurry. Let's fix it. Okay, all good. You can see my... I don't know if anyone else does this. I cross off the days as it goes through the year, so you can see this is how much of the year is left. There's not much on this page. But, start at the beginning. So I wasn't actually at work at the start of this year. I'm just going to check the chat to see if I'm actually speaking. You can hear me? Good. I'm so glad. It's not mirrored. It's actually mirrored vertically so that you can see it the right way up. Because and I can hold it the right way up, basically. Yeah, this is just my doodle of how to do an app that I was thinking of making. You can't read it now, but that's not really what we're here for. We're more here for the artistic doodles, so I don't really know what I wanted to show, but I was going to explain why I started doodling in pen instead of in pencil a few years ago, and I think my doodles have got a lot better since then, and they got a lot quicker. So whereas I used to painstakingly draw things in pencil and then rub out the lines and redraw them, I found I got a lot better at drawing things right the first time when I started practicing with pen. And even though the end product didn't look as good, it didn't take as long to do. And when you're drawing at work, you kind of doing it quickly is kind of important. You don't want to spend too long. So basically, I did all these at my desk at work, or during meetings, or during like briefings when I basically just trying to keep part of my mind occupied so that I can keep listening without getting distracted. I just realized you can see the ragged edge of this carpet. There used to be a wall here that got taken down. Anyway, I guess the question that you might be asking if you're not an artist, you might be wondering why a lot of the things I draw are naked people or people wearing tight clothes, and that's simply because that's how they teach you to draw anatomy. If you ever learn to draw, that's how you start, by drawing someone naked, and then it's much easier to add clothes on top once you know what's underneath. And I just want to start by explaining that none of these sketches look good, and that's kind of the point. They're the first, just take a pen, put it to paper, and what comes out is what comes out, and if you do that for like 5 minutes a day, you can get a lot better a lot quickly. But the point of these is not to look good, it's to just to practice, basically, just to keep to do something really quick every day so that you keep it up. I don't know, I guess it's kind of obvious that I like anime, and a lot of things I draw are influenced by anime and manga. So I think that's pretty common among people who like drawing. Apparently, see, something else I do here, you can see that these are... Sorry, I've gone out of focus. If I knew how, I would... there we go. Because I'm drawing in pen and not pencil, what I can't do is erase the lines and draw them again, but what I can do is turn the page and trace over what I just drew and make it look a little bit better. So that's what I did here. These are the first ones I drew, and then I turned the page and traced over it, because you can see the lines where they were, and so you get a mirror image of what you just drew, and you get like a little bit cleaner lines, that sort of thing. And I could draw a lot better if I drew just like a person standing up, neutrally. Someone standing with their arms by their sides is pretty easy, but I try to push myself and draw poses and angles I've never drawn before. So that's what happened. That's basically the idea I have. I just see what comes. And I often, when you draw in pen, the other thing is that you draw you draw a limb or something, and then if you realize it wasn't in the right place that you're expecting, you kind of just have to do the rest of the drawing with that in mind, if that makes sense. So you just go with it, basically. You don't, you forget the drawing you were about to do and just go with the thing that you drew instead. This one's not even finished. This was me, I was trying to draw like, you know, if you ever read the manga of Scott Pilgrim, that's got a very, like, simplified cartoony art style, considering it's a manga comic for adults, graphic novels. So yes, he said the same thing with his face, where I traced over it, and now I can't even remember which one came first. Which one do you think looks better? Probably the one I drew second. I think I drew this one first, and then this is the better version. It's kind of mirrored, and then this is like me. This is a character I'm working on, and I kind of drew her hair a bit messier in that one, and then gave her these bags under her eyes. I was trying to make her look like cute, but not really obviously cute. You know, kind of like a Ghost World. Have you ever seen that film with Scarlett Johansson and Steve Buscemi? It's kind of like a Ghost World type character. One of those girls. Or a combination of both. Oh, got a blank page. Pikachu. That was a really bad one. Yeah, see, these are all the months that I wasn't at work. I was on maternity leave for the first few months of this year. All of January. There we go. In the corner here. Sorry, it's hard doing it with the mirror. I keep turning it the wrong way. And then I did the same thing where I traced it on the other side. And it looks a lot better from this side. This was kind of me trying to draw them a character from this show I like called March Comes Like a Dragon. Like a lion. March Comes Like a Lion is the name of that show. I've been watching it on Netflix. I think it's pretty good. And not the drawing. I think the show is good. The drawing's alright. That was kind of a... I just drew the hand first, because I wanted to get better at drawing hands, so I just drew loads of hands. So I drew a hand holding a thing, and then I made the thing into a sword, and then I made the sword into a sword that was resting on someone's shoulder. And I kind of drew a scar on his face like he's a soldier. Actually, his neck is way too thin. He doesn't look that tough. He's got like a little weedy jaw. If I drew this one again, maybe I'll do it. Oh, I can't do it again because this is where I started going to work, actually writing stuff. So then after this, a lot of it's not doodles. It's just me making notes. Which is actually what this book is for. It's not supposed to be for notes. It's for doodles. It's supposed to be for like reminding me of what to do that day. I'm gonna have to focus again. Alright, come on. This is the only way I know how to fix this. Oh, come on. I'm gonna try and figure out in the actual settings to stop the autofocus coming on. Oh, there we go. The autofocus figured it out. And then you've got kind of more geometric shapes like this, where I just drew a kind of Triforce type of thing and shaded it. This is a character I kind of was thinking about. It's based on Anubis from Egyptian mythology. And then there's another one where I traced it and it looked better. After I traced it, I got a better version of it. I also write song lyrics sometimes. I don't know if anyone else does that. If I've got a song in my head, sometimes I'll just like write the lyrics to that song. This is well, you can see what it is. You see what I mean about drawing the clothes over the top, though? Where I draw the kind of the shape and then draw like a dress that drapes over the shape. There you go, boring. I went through and checked that there wasn't like my company name or my my own name written there. There's only just people's first names, and it's backwards anyway, so you do pretty well to get any information from looking at this, I think. Yeah, it was just me practicing drawing a hand. That one's actually not very good. But, like I said, you have to draw badly in order to get better. This is probably when I started getting better at drawing. I think this one looks good. This one's alright. I can't remember if this was a character I was working on or not. I don't recall. No, I don't think so. Yeah, so that's the worst version. And then I traced over it. This is a better version. I think the baby's waking up. She might go back to sleep though. Just gonna check the chat, see if I got any questions. Oh, I got a super chat just now. Merry Christmas! Thank you very much, the English loyalist. You're a faithful donator. This is actually a product I've been designing for work. Can you guess what it is? I bet you can't. My faithful husband has gone to get the baby for me. That's nice of him. I wonder if the autofocus will figure itself out again. The Pikachu was with a reference. Somebody asked that. Well, there's been a lot of activity in the chat. Sorry I can't read all of your comments. If you want me to answer your question or read your comment, then you can write at Poe the person and it will show up highlighted for me. It won't highlight for you, but for me it'll come up in an orange highlight and it'll make that easier for me to see. Maybe if I just use this distance, it'll stay in focus. Okay, I'm gonna try and fix this because once I fix it once, then I won't have to fix it again, even if it takes a bit longer. Okay, that's not an option there. I might need to open the camera. Options. In the meantime, I'll use the old-fashioned method. Okay, that's better. It's like a magic trick. Okay, let's try it. Fine. Got some more drawings. This is my anatomy. This is actually for a project I was doing on a healthcare app that would point to bits of your body. So yeah, the anatomy wasn't great. Ironically. Now here's some more hands, just right in the corner there. If I can't think of anything to draw, I'll just try and think of a random pose for a hand and draw that. So yeah, it's a good thing to practice, but it often ends up not looking great, which is why it's kind of annoying to draw that. It's not a fun thing to doodle, but it is kind of necessary if you want to get better at drawing. There's only so many poses you can do where someone's putting their hands in their pockets or putting it behind their back. You really need to draw hands if you want to get anywhere with like a comic book or anything. Yeah, that was... I think I might have drawn the hand and then... I'm trying to be more like stylistic with this one, with the hand. I guess I thought he was like rubbing his eye, but you don't really rub your eye like that. Like part of the fun of drawing hands is that it's not just making it look like accurate. You don't need to... Being anatomically accurate is only half the battle, because what you really need to do is like make it look natural. Like that would be a natural way for you to like hold something or to like let your hand fall naturally. Like drawing a limp hand is like one of the hardest things you can do, where all the fingers are curled naturally. Like people don't often lay their hands flat. So if you draw all your hands like that, it won't look realistic. Here's another naked one. Almost naked. I don't know why I went big with this one. Sometimes I draw eyes, and then I'll draw the rest of the face after the eyes, but it never really goes well. But I guess I drew the eyes big, and then I had to draw the rest of the head big as well to go with it. It's like he's biting his lip. I guess that's what I was going for. That was probably a better hand drawing. A hand and an eye. Eyes are easy, that's the thing. It's like, if you only have space to draw like one thing, then drawing an eye is the easy version of drawing a hand. You see, that's actually my hand. You can see it's got my my ring on it. That's why I guess I was just like copying my own hand. I mean, copying from reference is you have to start that way basically. That was kind of like a pose type of thing. I've also got some maths next to that. I don't know what that was calculating. The answer was 0.966 though. So you see what I mean again about doing the naked pose and then drawing clothes over the top of it. That's exactly what I've done there. I didn't bother tracing that though. I only trace the ones that I think are good, usually. Or like they could be good, but they could be better. Right, I'll go through these quickly because I just saw my passwords written there. Well, one of them was. This was the traced version. I think I drew this surreptitiously. This was like someone in a meeting, the intern that we hired for our for the summer. He was sitting across from me, so I just decided to draw him. He doesn't really look like that. That was like a kind of a cartoonized version. That was the first one I drew, but then like I said, I didn't draw it on the. Did I draw it on the reverse? No, I didn't draw it on the reverse. I drew it on the next page. This is actually in the future, so these are all marked out because I've got these days off as holiday. If you wonder why they're crossed out. And yeah, this is where we really get to this is the back of the book, so this is where you really get to like the full page doodles. I guess we should go through these one by one. This one I couldn't really get the eyes right, but I was quite happy with the like the expression and the hair and the facial hair. This is another character I'm working on, who goes with the Ghost World type ugly cute girl. But I guess he wears a hoodie. That's part of his personality. That's part of his character design. It's like he wears a hoodie when he's probably a bit too old to be wearing a hoodie. And I've got this is all the same characters. This is kind of what I worked out what she should look like. And this is the picture where I figured out that she probably wears a lot of eyeliner. That was the idea. So it's weird, but I kind of thought I don't often draw the whole eye like this, like all coloured in, like a kind of Cleopatra eye, all around the edge of it. So it really makes her look a lot different from the other characters I drew, and I like that. And so her wearing eyeliner informed. I thought, okay, well, she looks kind of like a goth with the eyeliner, so I used that to inform like the hair. Like she kind of looks like a. You can kind of imagine she'd have like pale skin and like black hair, and yeah, she goes to school, so she's wearing a school uniform, but she doesn't have it tied done up all the way. Yeah, and she smokes as well, I guess. And I'm not very good at drawing blazers. She's supposed to be wearing a blazer in this picture, but it's kind of hard to. And the mouth is in completely the wrong place. Okay, and then on this page, we've got this one I was really pleased with. And the reason that I think this one looks really good is because it's actually traced from the reverse. It's a completely different character. You might not even notice that it was traced unless I showed you, but I copied this from someone on Twitter who, I don't think he even followed me, but I noticed his profile picture on Twitter. I really liked it. It's Spike from Cowboy Bebop. His character I like, but I copied that profile picture and then I used that as an outline to draw this guy in profile, who's our hoodie wearing guy with the stubble. I was quite pleased with that. I don't know if I need to make it closer or further away to be in focus, but I kind of saw this double page spread of these characters. This is these characters kind of go together from the same story that I'm writing. So this kind of spread is for them, for that story. And I drew him again down here. I think I liked his expression most in this picture. And then I got his pose kind of wrong in this one. God, this lighting is awful. In this one, I kind of wanted to draw him hunched over, but I couldn't really get it right. That's what's really difficult is, it's kind of like an upwards angle, like you, if it were a camera in a film or a TV show, then you could imagine the camera would be looking down on him, and that's kind of a hard angle to draw sometimes. I mean, it's not nearly as hard as when the camera is below him looking up, but it's head on, something like this, where the vantage point is directly sort of in line with his eye line. That's a lot easier to draw, and like a lot of things are drawn that way. But when you look either up or down at a person, it's a lot harder to get that angle right. And so these are the two characters, like for scale, this is what he would look like standing, looking at her. Although that's not like necessarily something that happens in the story, that's just the get in my head the height difference and the kind of build, the difference in their sizes, I guess you could say. I think that was that one traced? Yeah, that one was traced too. So this was the early version of that one I was just pointing at. Is this out of focus? So it should be the name of the stream, is this out of focus? Yeah, so I think I actually like the expression of this one better, but the reason I traced it is because I didn't like the some of the details. But then, the way I did it the first time, he's got like a bigger nose in this one, and I kind of liked that actually. The when I drew him smaller and he had like more of a kind of like more anime small nose, I didn't like it as much as the big nose. Anyway, it was a kind of, I found cowboy hats really difficult to draw, but I copied this one, and then I tried to draw someone lying under it, like they're like they've got the hat pulled down over their face. There's more hands. These are okay. Probably that one's the best one. And there's more hands over here. Oh. If I draw here. Yeah, that was another sort of quote that I liked. I'm not going to read it out. I'm actually glad it's backwards so you can't find out what I wrote. But when I've just got like a phrase or a thing stuck in my, or a quote, I'll draw that. This is the same character as before, the eyeliner girl. There's Mulder from X-Files. It didn't look great though. There's another Pikachu. That one's better than the first one. And more hands. This one's the kind of easiest hand to draw in some ways because it's a picture of the hand holding the pen. So if you hold a pen to a paper, you can draw your own hand doing it. Kind of like I don't know if you've seen Jordan Peterson's self-authoring image for that is a hand drawing itself or something. It's kind of complicated. I think it's a hand like curled back and it's like drawing its own wrist. I guess that's the self-authoring part. And yeah, this one wasn't great. I was trying to, like I was saying about angles earlier, I was trying to draw someone who's looking down, but really the shoulders need to be quite high up if you're doing that. These shoulders quite low down, so it gives kind of a weird impression. It's also very difficult to do without shading. Just a little bit of shading would make this a lot easier to read. I think this is the part where I'd start looking at more kind of like facial expressions, like trying to like this also kind of bashful smile. I was trying to get better at drawing less neutral expressions, more extreme expressions. So this one's kind of like smug, like not just the facial expression, but also like the hand going through the hair. So this is like the kind of neutral expression that's really easy to draw. Like you kind of draw a flat mouth and flat eyebrows, and you can get like a subtle expression that way. The subtle expressions are often... That's why I kind of did the bashful smile. It's like a subtle expression, not a really extreme one, but it's... if you can capture it really nicely, then you can make a... you can like tell a story with a single image if you can get a really good facial expression, like a good pose, right? And she's like concerned, I guess. That was kind of a character from a show called The Ancient Magus' Bride that I was watching at the time. I finished watching that now. It wasn't that great, but I liked the character design in that show. And she's, I guess, like, she's got very short hair. This is from another story that I wrote. I guess she was just annoyed. Oh, here we go. This is the spread that was in the thumbnail, I think. Oh, no, I think that was the next page, actually. Starting from where it starts on my... So this is the traced, the first version I traced in the other page, and the same as this one. Was that one traced? No, that wasn't. But that one was. She was even more annoyed in this one. That was me just trying to draw like a really concerned shouting kind of pose. I was trying to draw this one from like she's tilting her head back. It's very difficult to to get the tilting thing like I explained. That was just a pose, I guess. This was an idea for a gas mask. And we at work we at the start of the COVID thing, a lot of entrepreneurs were trying to get in on the, like different kinds of masks and different kinds of like COVID preventing products. And we were asked to come up with some like ideas for for different kinds of masks that that would help somehow. So that was what that was for. If you're curious about what I actually do for a job, it's not doodling. And yeah, I mean, it's a girl. This is like a very anime kind of thing. She's wearing a school uniform. She's got a sword, and she's got glasses. This is me trying to do big perspective, like looking down. That's why like her legs get narrower. The image gets smaller as you go down. More hands down here. Yeah, more guys. Actually, I used to draw women almost exclusively, so drawing men is actually quite difficult for me. I'm getting better though. Yeah, I think this is the one that was in the thumbnail. This is what you came for. If you clicked on this video, it's because of this. Yeah, I wanted to draw like that kind of thing they do in anime a lot, where they like adjust their glasses with one hand, but their users have got like a huge hand like in anime as well. I guess this was supposed to be a hand holding a phone, perhaps, from the side, or holding a kind of looks like he's holding a cutthroat razor the way that he's got his thumb and forefingers, kind of holding it that way. Loads of hands here. These hands are quite good actually, if I do say so myself. Like I said about the curled fingers, these are the hardest ones to draw. Like these ones are not too bad. The curled fingers are difficult to draw. The outstretched hands. I've tried like the hardest thing is drawing someone holding a smartphone. Apparently, like the one hand smartphone hold, where you're kind of like supporting the weight of the phone on the like on your little finger, and then you're using your thumb to touch the screen. It actually just looks like a creepy claw every time I try to draw it. So maybe I'll get better at that. Fist is usually quite easy because you just draw one curled round finger. Once you get that idea of like drawing the creases between the folds, it's quite easy, and then you can just draw the others kind of going in a similar direction. They kind of copy the first one you drew. And we've got some more hands at the top here. And I guess this was the original girl with the sword, and I traced over it for that one. I don't know which one I like more actually, because this one's got kind of a more wistful expression. This one's alright actually, considering it looks so rough. That was kind of one of the best ones I drew of kind of an upward vantage point angle, looking down at the face. This guy looks a bit more convincing adjusting his glasses, but maybe the expression sells it. I mean, I don't know, like he's like pinching the edge of the glasses. More hands holding things. Like I said about fists, it is sometimes actually easier to draw a hand that's holding something than just a loose hand. A dagger there. Pen. Drawing someone holding a pen is actually quite difficult, the way that the pinching of the tip occurs. You've got another smartphone here. Glasses. Eyes. But it must have been pretty lazy that day. Got another hand holding a pen. Another hand holding a pen. That was probably someone else in a meeting that I was looking at. Like someone sitting across me from writing. I probably copied their hand when I do that. You see like the arm coming around here. I quite like this face, I think. Yeah, I got kind of obsessed with the idea of the I really like the plaster on the face. They often have that in anime as well. Like a tough guy would have like a cut covered by a plaster, and he's kind of looking over his shoulder as well. That's like that's actually a pretty easy angle kind of pose to draw, is the looking over the shoulder look. I draw feet as well. Feet are like a little bit easier than hands, but you still need some practice with it, really. And you see I've got the plaster over the nose there as well. I got the same short-haired girl from the first story that I drew. More feet. I know some perverts watching this are probably going to enjoy that. Yeah, smoking a cigarette is difficult. You've got the curled fingers thing again, and getting it to interact with the face right. I think I did okay with this one. And these ones are a little bit earlier. So I start at the back of the book and work in, so I drew these at the start of the year. I guess I wanted to draw someone who looked like not skinny, like kind of chunky, but muscular, like broad across the shoulders, like a wide chin. It's kind of it's more of a Disney than a anime kind of look. This is supposed to be someone climbing into a car. I don't think it really worked though. Not a foot. I've got the rearview mirror image here. I don't know if you can see that. That one's quite light. I've got a kind of pixie thing. Hair over the face. Now we're getting to the end now. This is the last page. Only took half an hour. Yeah, these are alright actually. We've got two guys who the poses look alright. Like the angle of the the bones, and this guy's head is too small. But apart from that, these are okay. I like this is like I'm trying to get it all in frame. I guess it was supposed to be like a noir type of detective character. He's got like the spiky collar and cigarette, trench coat, that sort of thing. And here we go. Yeah, it's just the end. So that's my sketchbook, and now I can throw it away now that it's documented. Just chuck it away. That one's got a cheeky wink in that one. I think that's everything. It's all my doodle for a year. It was less than a year. I guess I lied in the clickbait title. Shall I go back up? Hey, see, I'm upside down. I told you I flipped it. Before your brain explodes, I'm gonna flip it back. Does that work? Hey. It's down the stairs, as you can see. I'm zoomed in. I don't know why it's so zoomed in. Anyway. I'll just look at the chat quickly, just in case there's more super chats. Well, I got 100 NOK. I don't know what that is. Thank you very much. I'm sure it's very generous, regardless of the amount. Thank you very much, Consul 2006. Oh, so we do have some questions. Thank you for using the highlight feature, as I asked. Have I seen Battlestar Galactica? I saw the first episode, maybe the first couple of episodes of the more modern one. Yeah, not... Well, obviously I didn't love it, because I'm not watching it now, but maybe I'll finish it one day. I know some people think it's great, but I don't know. I have been to life drawing classes. I think I've only been to one, actually. I would love to show you the things I drew there, because it was actually... it was a great exercise to... It's got that kind of thing I was talking about in this... in this live stream, where drawing really quickly can make you kind of less afraid to fail. So you just kind of go for it, basically. There's like a limited time that the person will hold the pose for. So that's your time limit, basically. They'll they'll hold the pose for like 10 seconds, not 10 seconds, like 5 minutes or 10 minutes. And then you get like the luxury of drawing like a 20-minute pose or a half an hour pose, and you can really spend time on it. But actually the like half an hour pose pictures don't end up looking any better than the 10-minute ones or the 5-minute ones, because the first few lines that you draw are the most important ones. They end up defining the whole thing, and you if you can get those lines right, get the angles and the curvature right and everything, then you can get across the image, and it ends up looking quite like elegant and like effortless. That's what I've heard it described as before. But when an image is defined with few lines, it has a kind of effortlessness to it that when you like sketch and shade and do loads, when you painstakingly take hours on a picture, it can look really great, but it doesn't have, there's a quality that it lacks that you can get in a few minutes. Yeah, I can't see any other questions that are highlighted, but thank you very much for looking at my drawings with me. I hope to get back to making normal videos soon. It's just difficult to find the time, basically. I was going to explain it in my last live stream, but I think I might be doing more live streams in the future, just because I don't have time to like sit down in like a private room and like film something and then like spend more than an hour, a few hours editing it. Basically, it's just my schedule doesn't really allow for that, and I'd much rather sit down for an hour with my husband on the sofa and we'll just get it done, and then that's the video. And he's got a lot of interesting things to say as well. So I hope to do more videos with him in the future, and by that I mean live streams, which it'll be more like a podcast, I guess. And I know that's not great for everyone. A lot of people like short videos. A lot of people like long videos, though, and we'll just see how that goes. I can only make what I can do. I can do what I can and no more, basically. Yeah, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you again some other time. Maybe next week. I try and do one either live stream or a video a week. So you can go back and watch my old videos. A lot of them don't have like that many views. So I think a lot of people who view my new videos they don't necessarily go back and look at the old ones. They just take whatever YouTube recommends. So if you're missing my content, you can always go back and look at old videos. There's like several hundred at this point. Yeah, have a good night, everyone, and Merry Christmas if I don't see you before that.